Good afternoon, grade 8. This will be your asynchronous activity today and for tomorrow as well. I want you to understand and try to answer some of the questions that I will be asking here on our video lesson so that you may also have a time to review and to absorb all the information here. So this will be your asynchronous task today and tomorrow as well. However, tomorrow I might be asking that you will have to create outline, topic outline, and sentence outline for each of your group. Okay, so for one group, you have to give me a sentence outline and topic outline that you have to submit tomorrow. So please wait for further announcements regarding that group task tomorrow as well on our GC since it will be an asynchronous day again tomorrow. All right, so let's discuss this. How are you guys? I hope you are doing great, and I'm pretty sure you are doing great because today and tomorrow is an asynchronous day for us. And before we further discuss our agenda for today, let us all pray. I hope you are doing this every day as well, even without Mom Teen who is guiding you. So please bow our heads and let's have a short prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be your name, your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. Do not bring us to the test, but deliver us from evil. Amen. All right. So I hope you are also doing your prayer every day. And before we jump into our new lesson, like the penguin is doing, I know you can do it. And I hope you still remember these. I just have two questions for our remember me or review part. So you can take a photo or pause the video here for a while and then try to read the definition and fill the blanks with the correct term or topic that is being described. Okay, so you can pause the video here and try to answer before you proceed with watching this video. So in this time, blank is the manner or pattern by which a writer or speaker explains his or her main idea about the topic in a paragraph. So, what do you think is this? This is one of the most important keyword that we discussed in our lesson one, and that is idea development. All right. So, idea development is the manner in which we pattern. Okay, us as a speaker or us as a writer, we pattern our idea and explain it in such a way and in such a manner that you develop your topic from general to specific, cause and effect, problem solution, chronological, and so on and so forth. Okay, so I hope you still remember this one. And last for our remember me, blank create powerful links between sentences and paragraphs to improve the flow of information across the whole text. Okay, so what do you think is that? This is congruent or the same as the cohesive devices or signal words. We call them grammatical signals. All right. So grammatical signals, just like the signal words, transition signals, or cohesive devices that we already discussed from your previous gradings, grammatical signals create powerful links between the sentences. When we say powerful links, it helps our sentences and paragraphs to improve its flow of information, meaning it helps our prior sentence or the previous sentence to the next or the succeeding sentences in making it linked with each other. Okay? So, hindi kalat-kalat, no? Alam mo na magkakadugtong or may sense yung one sentence or one part of the paragraph to another because of the grammatical signals. So each of the idea patterns, okay, each of the idea patterns or idea development has specific grammatical signals that we could use. So for compare and contrast, we have however, okay, and however can also be used for claim and counterclaim idea development. right? So for problem solution, type of idea development, we have as a result, okay? And connection, when we try to connect the problem and the proposed solution, okay, in our paragraph, and so on. Okay, so if you already forgot what are these grammatical signals are, you can go back with our lesson video that I also linked on our GC as well. Okay, so what are the goals for today in lesson 2? So we have the following goals. However, the identify the primary and secondary sources. So we'll be dealing with, okay, we'll be dealing that very little today because our focus on is on how you will understand more clearly what is topic outline and sentence outline, and try to compose your own outline by the gathered information. So regarding what I mentioned about your group activity, each group, grade 8, each group, we have 4 groups for each of the section. Each of the group must give me one topic outline and one sentence outline. So your output for tomorrow is, so your output for tomorrow are 2 outlines, one sentence and one topic outline. Okay? And you have to gather all those information using your primary and secondary sources. So don't worry. Tomorrow, I will be sending another video on how you will create your outline and how will you fill in the format that I will give you. Okay, so please wait for the format and the video tomorrow. So we come now with our lesson 2, that is expanding the content of an outline using notes from primary and secondary resources. Okay, and before we jump into, of course, you have to define what are our keywords. So our keywords are, let me have my cursor, okay? So our keywords are the words outline, okay, primary and secondary resources. Okay, so we will be dealing with 3 important words today. Okay, so let's start off with primary sources. Okay, primary sources are raw information. When we say raw, these are information that is verbatim if we're talking about interview. Okay, when you say verbatim, kung ano yung mismong sinabi. Verbatim. Wala kang binago, wala kang dinagdag, wala kang tinanggal. Okay? Raw information and first-hand evidence. When you say first-hand evidence, it says that you are the first one who experienced, who observed, who have seen the information. Okay, what are the examples? Interview transcripts. Okay, may it be an interview from an artista, okay, from your, or a simple dialogue, no? So transcripts are actually this one. When you say transcripts, these are words or the exact words typewritten from the oral interview. So it means that apart from hearing what is the interview about, someone also transcribes or types in whatever the question and the answer on that certain interview session. Okay. Next is memoir or memoirs. Okay. It's a French word that means memories. Okay. So it is somewhat like a diary, but memoir also is in written form. So si diary, just like transcripts, you are writing what happened with you today. Okay. However, memoir is a special kind of event wherein you try to specify what are the specific happenings. Okay, may it be tragic or masama, nakakagulat, or exciting part of the day. That's memoir. Okay, however, memoir also in some other context is the highlighted memory of a person. May it be his or her most exciting memory or most memorable ones. Okay? Memoir. Next is statistical data. We already heard this or hearing this from news and such. So mga census, 'di ba? Mga bilang ng tao, votes, etc. So that's statistical data. And works of art as well is one example, of course, of primary source. So when we say work of arts or works of art, it could be a painting, it could be a dance or a recital. Okay, so that could be your types of primary sources. Next, if we have primary sources, of course, we have secondary source, right? So secondary source, unlike the primary source, these are information and commentary made by other researchers. So your clue word there is other researchers, meaning you are not the first one who experienced this. You are not the first one who heard of it and who have a right of it. Okay? Meaning, you just knew the information from other person. Sinabi lang sa'yo, nabasa mo lang, nabanggit lang, napanood sa news. Okay? That's how secondary source is different from primary source. From the word itself pa lang, primary, na una ka. Secondary, pangalawa. Okay, so examples of these are journal articles. Of course, these may be a commentary or analysis, okay, or compilation of research. There, journal articles. Textbooks, yan, yung mga na-publish na, okay? Those informations like in your English time, PTAC, etc. Those are considered also secondary source. Dictionaries, encyclopedia, political commentary, dissertations. Dissertations, guys, are research papers that is presented. Okay, so katulad ni Ma'am Tin, kapag nag-masters, we're doing research paper or thesis, and that thesis will be presented in a number of people or what we call panels. Okay, newspaper, editorial, and opinion pieces. So you will notice that the secondary source are already printed. Meaning, sila po ay mga naganap na. Ayan. Mga mapapansin nyo, no, that these examples of secondary sources are already in print. Meaning, meaning they are already in a sort of bind. No? So, na-release na sila before mo pa malaman. Unlike the primary source that you have the first feeling of it. Okay, so that's the difference of first-hand source or primary source and secondary source. I hope I make that clear to you. Now, let's go with an outline. What is an outline? An outline is a tool used in improving and organizing written ideas about topic into a logical order. Okay? So, an outline, katulad ng ginagawa nyo, you may notice that you are doing this, pero hindi nyo alam na outlining na pala yung ginagawa nyo. Okay, so later I will show you, tapos ma-realize, ay, ginagawa ko na yan. Alright? So, an outline is actually a tool. Okay? This particular tool will help us improve and organize our written ideas. Okay? You will also notice in our example later that outline and graphic organizer is very helpful in doing your paragraph. Okay? So in here, outline gives us a logical order of what we are thinking of. Just like what I mentioned before, ang dami-dami nating gustong sabihin, ang dami-dami nating gustong isulat, but we find it so hard to write them because there are too many, right? Just like in the idea development, napakarami natin gusto isulat, pero paano nga ba natin isusulat? So before we write those, outline could help us in organizing this in logical manner. When we say logical, magkakasunod and magkakakonekta. Just like in writing a letter or having a letter, you start with A, B, C until you reach the Z, right? And also in numbering, of course, we start with 0. We have 0 right now. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, right? So outlining would help us also in organizing our thoughts using these letters and numbers. Okay? So writers use outlines when writing their papers to know which topic to cover and what order. Okay? Just like us writers, taray writer yarn. Okay, outlines will help us to organize what particular topic we can cover or in what order they should have written. What are the types of outline? Oh, you will notice that we have different types of outlines. However, I will just be having the two basic topics since no mag-grade 9 pa naman kayo and so on. So, we'll just be having a light discussion since it's also a synchronous activity. Okay? So, what are the types of an outline? The type of an outline to be used by the writer depends on the nature of the topic and its purpose. Okay? So, when we say nature, that is meaning what exactly are you trying to produce? Okay? Do you produce information? So when you produce information, what is the purpose of your writing? Of course, that is to inform. Is your nature of the topic trying to create an argument? Okay? So if you are trying to create an argument, what is the purpose of your topic? Probably or most likely that will be to persuade. Okay? So meaning an outline differs from the nature or what do you want to talk about and the purpose or why do you talk about these depending on your topic. Okay, so to make it more comprehensive, let's proceed with this slide. Topics that are information heavy from the word itself, information, may require more major topics and subtopics since the writer's purpose is to be as informative as possible. Okay, so let's connect this first sentence first. If your topic is information heavy, ibig sabihin loaded, maraming information, of course your outline would require major topics with S, subtopics, another S as well, since the writer's purpose is as informative as possible. So let's go back with this example. Sabi nature. What is the nature of your topic? Information heavy. Okay, marami kang gustong sabihin. There should be many information that to be included. What is your purpose? If meron kang information heavy is to inform. Ayan. Okay? However, if the writer wants to be persuasive, okay, outline should only accommodate what is important in audience needs. Okay? O, balik tayo ulit dito. Kapag ang nature daw ng ating topic is to persuade, ayan, this one. Oh, sorry. The purpose is to just have the important details the audience needs. Okay? So we can say therefore that sentence outline, or we are now into the different types of outline. Sentence outline is a type of outline that presents thesis statement, major topics, subtopics, and supporting details. Okay? Meaning, si information heavy na informative ang purpose, sentence outline siya. Alright? So when we are trying to do or create an informative type of paragraph, before doing the paragraph itself, we are encouraged to use sentence outline in creating or organizing the topics we have to cover. Okay? Bakit ma'am sentence outline siya? Again, kasi nga masyadong maraming information. Okay? And our goal kasi is to inform. Meaning, sentence outline will be best to describe what are the informations we want to tackle. Okay? So sentence outline consists of, again, thesis statement, major topics, subtopics, and supporting details. And it is called sentence outline because it is in what form? Sentence form. Okay? So kaya siya, sentence outline. All right, let's continue. It allows you to include those details in the sentences instead of having to create an outline with many short phrases that goes on page after page. So in here, since we are doing informative type, okay, again, sentence outline is for informative types of texts or information, of course, from the word informative. Therefore, when we are trying to discuss an information, sentence outline would create an impact that you know what you are telling because there is a meaning from each of the sentences. Okay? So sentence outline also, it allows a hierarchical, when we say hierarchical, from the word itself, logical, pagkakasunod-sunod, mula sa mababa hanggang sa mataas, no? Or from most essential topics to the least important topics. Okay? Okay, hierarchical structure composed of sentences and headings around the subjects or of speech or essay. Okay, so these are actually some of the ways that we can write our sentence outlines, and it can also be applicable in the outline or topic outline as well later. Okay? So we have here Roman numerals. Ayan. If you still remember what are the Roman numerals from your elementary days. Capitalized and lowercase letters like this one. You can have it until Z, yes. And Arabic numerals. So 1, 2, 3 until 100 if you have so many things to want to tackle with. All right. So we have here our sentence outline example. Okay. Oh, sorry. So this is actually from an excerpt. I just cut it in the thirds kasi mas masyadong marami. This actually has until 5. This one until 5 Roman numerals section. So this is an example of full sentence outline. I got this from Dr. Marceline Thompson Hayes of Arkansas State University. Okay. So what is the sentence about? You may be, oops, sorry, let me just move that. You may notice that the sentence is about global warming. Okay. Next question. What is the purpose of the sentence outline? So you can pause the video here if you wanted to scan once again the sentence outline and try to answer it on your own as well. Okay, so what is the purpose of the sentence outline? Of course, the purpose is to inform or give information about what? About global warming. Okay, and lastly, what is the topic being discussed or thesis statement? Okay, when we say thesis statement, guys, thesis statement is when you have a vision of what is the topic sentence all about. So in this part, I would have inserted, I would insert here the thesis statement, but I want you to think, okay? Also in your English notebook or in your excess paper, if you have one while you are watching this, try to look at, scan, and skim the sample sentence outline and try to have at least one sentence of what you think are the major, okay, or the gist, the summary of the sentence outline is about. So once again, you can take a pause of this video before I reveal the thesis statement around here or in this part. Okay? But since this is just a recording, let me reveal it to you. What is the topic discussed? What is the topic being discussed? That is global warming is a gradual warming of the earth from human activities. And we will write it here. Okay? Ayan, so, let me erase that one. Okay. Global warming, as for the global warming is caused by carbon pollutants from industrial emissions, okay, resulting to high concentration of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, thus creating a hole in ozone layer. Okay? So medyo malapit naman, no? Yung ano natin, gradual warming of the earth from human activities because carbon pollutants were from what? Industrial emissions. So when they say industrials, these are the power plants, okay, mga planta, okay, mga ginagawa nating deforestation because we need to create subdivisions or papers, ayan. Okay, so I think we are almost there with the thesis statement. Okay, so now let's proceed with, wait, where is my cursor? Now let's proceed with the parts of our sentence outline. So once again, from our definition earlier, sentence outlines are used in informative type of text because informative types of text are often information heavy. Okay? So when we have information heavy o sobrang daming information, therefore we have to categorize these information and include also evidences or supporting details from these informations. So you will notice here we have four major parts of the outline. So we have here the thesis statement, or what is the topic all about? What are we expecting from the sentence outline? We have the major topic, the subtopic, and of course, the supporting details. So, wait, yeah, dito muna pala tayo. Let us wrap up later what are the meanings of this. Okay? So, major topics are few important topics that you want to discuss. These are the information that you can just pass. Okay? Global warming. It's about the gradual warming of the earth from human activities. So it has to be a major topic because it constitutes why the globe is warming. So that is because of human activities. Okay? So from here, major topic is discussed and specified into subtopic. Okay, what is subtopic? Subtopic is an even specified topic from the major discussion. Okay, so let's read first. You will notice we have A here. Okay, letter A, meaning that's the first subtopic. And you will notice in the major topic, we have Roman numeral number 1 here, meaning that's the first major topic. And you will notice along with the outline that just like in numbering, major topics follows an logical order from 1, 2, and 3, right? Look at the subtopics as well from letter A, B, and C. Again, that's what we call logical order. Meaning, hindi dapat mauna tong letter B kasi mas importante yung letter A. Or mas may connection siya sa major topic. Okay? And the idea is from most important ones to the less important ones. Okay? Lahat naman sila importante, but you as a writer or a speaker, you try to make it more impactful by placing the most important details first. Okay, gano'n naman tayo 'di ba? Inuuna natin yung importante. Pina-prioritize natin yung importante. Talagang inuuna natin yung mahalaga. Nauna ka na ba? Pinrioritize ka na ba? Okay, okay. Okay, so let's discuss this one. Global warming is a gradual warming of Earth from human activities. Now, let me erase first. I could have another markings. Yeah, para hindi kayo maguluhan. Alright, so let's use other color this time. So global warming as a gradual warming of the earth. Okay, and then human activities. So we can expect that from the Roman numeral major topic number 1, we expect that the subtopics and supporting details will tell us and help us identify what is this warming or gradual warming, and what are the human activities that contributes to global warming. Okay? Napakainit ngayon at napakainit din ng topic natin. Okay? It is characterized by a high concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. That's subtopic. Does it answer your question? What is the gradual warming? Okay, sabi, what is the gradual warming? It is characterized by high concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So when we say gradual warming, carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is the one that causes it. Again, there are so many reasons, but this particular sentence outline would probably specify carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. All right. So what are the details, no? What are the details that is telling that these carbon dioxide in the atmosphere causes, no, global warming? So we have supporting details. Again, we have ebidensya. Okay? Each year, 5 tons of CO2 or carbon dioxide are pumped into the atmosphere. Totoo ba na meron? Totoo. Ayan. Ino-conclude natin, guys, ha? We see now that we are looking now with the connection of the supporting details to the subtopic along with what is the claim of the major topic. Okay? The carbon dioxide traps heat. Alright. So, kaya pala nagkakaroon ng high concentration because carbon dioxide traps heat. Okay? And then, 1998 set temperature records. Okay? So, probably, the year from 1998 set the temperature records to be high. Because why? Of the concentration of carbon dioxide that is trapped in the atmosphere. Okay, so now let's connect. Okay, let me use another color here. So major topic claims that global warming is a gradual warming of the earth from human activities. Okay, so those human activities are characterized by, or it is characterized by the high concentration of carbon dioxide. Okay, so, bakit nga daw nagkakaroon ng gradual warming? Because of the high concentration of carbon dioxide? Okay. How does the high concentration of carbon dioxide happen? Ito ang sinasagot na supporting details. Each year, 5 tons of carbon dioxide is pumped in the atmosphere. Okay. Kaya pala may high concentration kasi every year, merong 5 tons ng carbon dioxide sa atmosphere. Next, the carbon dioxide traps heat. Kaya pala lalong umiinit because the carbon dioxide is what? Trapping the heat, no? And lastly, with the data or the date 1998 set temperature records. Okay? So when we say this one is could probably the record wherein carbon dioxide also has its peak in the atmosphere. During what year? 1998. Okay? We have other more subtopics. We are now going to letter B. Carbon pollutants also eat a hole in ozone layer. Okay, let me remove first so we could read easily. Okay. Carbon dioxide, according to that one, carbon pollutants also eat hole in ozone layer. That's the subtopic. Now, what is that claim? Paano natin nasusupport yung claim? Okay? In 1998, this whole set a size record. Ito na pala, no? From the temperature record, we have now the hole set in size record. This is when, ano daw yung hole na yon? Yun yung hole sa ozone layer. Ayan. So, it supports our claim in the subtopic. Next, it allows more ultraviolet radiation to reach the earth rather. So, dahil meron na ngang hole dun sa ozone layer, no? And na-record na yon in 1988, it allows ultraviolet rays to reach the Earth. So, guys, nag-science tayo pare-pareho and we understand that when there's a hole in the Earth, the sun's ultraviolet rays can enter our surface. Kaya nga tayo meron ngayong mga sunscreens na UVV protectant. Kasi ito na, si ultraviolet rays. Okay, that is harmful to the skin, that can that once we reach a certain amount of sun exposure, it can heat up our skin too bad, and it can cause our skin to rash, sunburn, etc. Now, apart from being so aesthetic with our body, of course, we have to protect ourselves because our skin is the biggest, according to science, the biggest organ that covers our body, if I'm correct. No, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm your English teacher. Okay, next subtopic as well. We are now in letter C. Okay, if this problem is not corrected, you may see disastrous results, or national, or that is from National Issues Reform. Okay, so what are these disastrous results? Okay, we have the supporting details. And you will notice here the supporting details are also categorized with the subcategories. Ayan, possible ba yun, ma'am? Possible. Okay, meaning that supporting detail number 1 have other more supporting details that is laid by letter A, B, and C. Okay, so first we have, there could be dramatic climate changes. Parang hindi naman natin to dama. Parang hindi naman totoo. Okay, there could be dramatic climate changes. And how can we say that? Okay, that there is a dramatic climate change. According to some supporting details as well, there could be drought in the middle of continents. Naku, parang lamig na lamig naman kami dito sa Pilipinas. Fake news naman yata to. Lamig-lamig, oh. There could be many severe storms. Naku, hindi naman kami binabaha. And of course, there could be rising of sea levels that would destroy or could destroy coastal areas. Oh, we've discussed this particular example as well in our previous lessons. Okay, so let's think, no? According to subtopic C, we may have a disastrous results. What are these disastrous results? First one is dramatic climate change, meaning seasons now vary. For example, you expect summer to come by mid of March to early of May, just for an example. However, summer comes March comes rather, but we still experiencing different typhoons. Diba the usual summer we experience it at March hanggang April, no? Pero nung mga nakaraan, napansin niyo ba, March pa lang pero March na pero ang dami pa ring bagyo. Okay? Ayan, no? Severe storms. Before, the storms are just, flooding the some of the lowest rural areas. But now sa city, pati sa city, binabaha na kahit ang lalaki ng mga drainage systems natin dito. Right? And next, there could be a rising of sea levels that will destroy coastal areas. Narinig nyo na yung tinatawag na storm surge. Okay? Yung mga dati, ang high tide is 5 p.m. Pero ngayon, yung ibang mga dagat, ang high tide na nila is around 2 to 3 p.m. na. Right? Nagbabago. There's sudden change in the usual course of nature. Okay, that's the claim of dramatic climate changes. Then number 2, there could be serious health problems. Now, what are these? What are the supporting details of these serious health problems? There could be an increase of skin cancer. Why? Because of too much exposure of the sun. There could be an increase of cataracts. Why? Because, well, our poor eyes doesn't have doesn't have its protection on it, unless we sleep, or unless we have, a time to rest our eyes. Pero with your screen time, and too much sunlight that our eyes is experiencing, we could, according to the research from Dr. Marceline Thompson Haynes of Arkansas State University, we can create, or develop cataracts easily. And there could be damaged immune system. Why? Because our immune system cannot keep up with the heat, cannot keep up with the sudden climate changes. Nalilito din yung katawan natin. Kaya nga, 'di ba, ang daming mga sakit, ang daming mga naglilipa ng virus. Okay? And because of these sudden changes in our environment, okay, the microorganisms also, or the bacteria and viruses, started to spread, multiply, and our bodies cannot just keep up from all these changes that is happening. Okay, so we can say that it because of those, we could have a damaged immune system. Okay. So, apart from informing us, again, this is how you create your sentence outline. So, I will not be anymore discussing the two second and third parts. It's your job now to analyze how these major topics, subtopics, and supporting details connects with each other. Okay, so I hope you understand how to develop a sentence outline like such. Okay. So I know this one is very heavy information. It's very information heavy rather. So we have another example here. I have another example here. Um that is quite short than the previous ones. Okay, so this one is a sermon outline and text about love that looks a little different. So um since we went to the science subject earlier, now let's go with the religion, or somewhat ESP, no? So here we saw, or we see rather, the outline on how a sermon. Okay, ito, probably these are the outlines done by the priest or the pastors, okay? Or your Bible study leader would have, like, whenever they try to share some of their insights in a certain topic about your religious group. Okay, certain outline text, love that looks a little different. All right. So from here we have numbering this time. 1, 2, and 3. We also have the letters in here. All right. So we can say that we have the major topic and the subtopics. Okay, so but before we discuss the outlines, this particular outline, let's answer what are the important things that we have to look up to in this particular sentence outline. Okay, so again, when you wanted to answer the particular question presented here, you can pause the video and then try to answer before playing it back again. Okay, so what is the outline about? Okay, so the outline is about Christ's love, or the standard of love by Christ. What is the purpose of the sentence outline? Again, you can pause the video if you wanted to answer it on your own, and just get back to the video once you finally have your answer. Okay, again, number 2, what is the purpose of the sentence outline? Again, it is to inform. Inform about Christ's love. And lastly, what is the topic being discussed, or what is the thesis statement? Thesis statement should be placing around here. So you can have another pause if you wanted to, or if you would like to answer, try to create your own thesis statement. All right. So what is the topic being discussed? The thesis statement is here. God's love can be expressed in various ways. It has standards to follow. It may look different for everyone, yet we all have to submit to it. Okay, that's how For me, the thesis statement of this topic outline is, all right. So let us discuss the details of our sentence outline. Okay, this is quite short than the previous one, no? Christ's standard of love, we have the basis here, Luke 6:27, from the book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 27 to 36. That's our major topic. So along with that particular verse, we have the supporting details. A, love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you and pray for those who abuse you. So that's our supporting details. So how can we know the standard of love? These are the supporting details. Okay. Next, what Christ's standard of love looks like. Okay, from verse 29 to 31 with the same book as still. Okay, nakailok pa rin tayo. What are the supporting details of telling that the standard of love or how the standard of love of Christ look like? This love turns the other cheek. This love gives the shirt of one's back. This love holds material wealth loosely. Okay? And of course, another major topic, reason to submit to Christ's standard of love, again in the same book of Luke in chapter 6, verse 32 to 36. The supporting details are you will stand out from the world, you will have a great reward, you will prove to be God's children, and you will model your father's love. That is how, okay, these are the reasons. These are the standards of how love looks like, and this is the standard of Christ's love. Okay, this is way more basic or way more easy to understand, of course. Okay, apart from the information heavy, but they both give information and they both have sentence outline. Okay? If ever you have further questions regarding sentence outline, keep it first. And then once you finish this video, you can send your questions on our GC. So I could also answer that on our next video lecture tomorrow. All right? Okay, so now let's go with the another topic or our next type of outline, which is topic outline. So topic outline is a type of outline which presents major topics, subtopics, and supporting details, but not in sentence form. It is in the form of words and phrases. So it could be a phrase or by words. Okay? Again, it could be a phrase, meaning your supporting details or subtopics could be in a form of an incomplete sentence. Okay? And a form of words or just one word. Okay? Why is that? Because topic outline is used for persuasive type of text. And we say persuasive type of text, you only give information that is expected of your readers or listeners. Okay, so wala tayong masyadong elaboration dito, but we expect that when we talk about this word or phrases, all right, this pinpoints a particular, this pinpoints specifically what your reader or your listener needs to read and to read at. Okay, so let me give you an example. For instance, we all experienced COVID-19 pandemic. Ay, wala talaga nakaligtas dito. Kaya nga sinabi siyang pandemic, no? It's a worldwide problem. Okay, so the thesis statement is COVID-19 pandemic is a difficult challenge faced by the government because it has brought massive breakdown to the economy. This the destabilization of the education system, anxieties among families and communities in the country. Okay, so the thesis statements already gave us the topics, okay, or important topics that the topic outline would tell us. So let's try again to look at the thesis statement and look for some of the topics that we can expect being discussed along that outline. Okay, so we have here massive breakdown in the economy. Ayan, let's underline economy. The stabilization of education system. Okay, so you have education system. Anxieties or emotional or mental problems, of course, among families and communities in the country. So let's see if we can look up on these three important topics from the thesis statement. No? So let's go with our topic outline. Again, when we say topic outline, it is consisting of words and phrases that is expected of your readers because they need important details as is. Okay? So apart from being persuasive, topic outline could also be informative. But however, in a different form. In a form of words and phrases. Ayan, ha? Just to specify. Alright, so let's discuss what are the composition or what are the compositions of this topic outline. Okay. So what is the topic outline about? We already know from the thesis statement. It's about COVID-19 pandemic. What is the purpose of the topic outline? So it is trying to persuade us that COVID-19, okay, affects our economy, our educational system, and also our mental health. Okay. Next, what is the topic being discussed or what is the thesis statement? Again, this is our thesis statement. Claiming that COVID-19, okay, have our government difficulty in stabilizing our economy, also destabilize our education system, and create anxiety or mental health problems among countries, communities, and family. All right. So again, we have, just like in the sentence outline, we have the major topic, our subtopic, and supporting details. Now let's discuss. Roman numeral number 1, number 2, and number 3 there. Express major topics. Yan. Look at the labels, guys. Ayan. May mga labels. Ma'am, pwede po bang letter A, B, C sila? Yes. As long as it's a logical. Ma'am, pwede po bang 1, 2, 3 sila? Yes. As long as it's logical. However, if you use already 1, 2, and 3 in major topics. Therefore, in subtopics, you will use letters naman. Ayan, just like here, A. Meaning, the major topic 1 has a first subtopics. Ma'am, pwede ba mang letter B dyan? Yes. O, pag pangalawang subtopics ka na, letter B na yon. Ayan. Alright? Tapos, ano yung details? Okay? Ma'am, is it essential if we have supporting details from our subtopics as your English teacher? And if you are doing both persuasive and informative text, of course it is essential. However, there are some cases that when a paragraph is given to you, it's quite hard to create supporting details, especially if you have limited sources. So it's okay also. It's okay and it's not fatal if ever you don't have supporting details and just subtopics. However, it will be more reassuring if you have supporting details. No, mas maganda talaga may ebidensya tayo. Okay. So from here, let's have effects of COVID-19 pandemic to world economy. All right. So from the word itself, word economy. So we are looking for the economy part of this. Okay, so what is the subtopic? Decrease of demands for goods and services. Is it true that when we have decrease of demands of goods and services, it affects our economy? Yes, it's true, of course. Okay, so what are the subtopics that affected by these demands of goods and services? Tourism, o 'di ba? Nagsara tayo ng mga ano natin, ng mga barriers. Kasi 'di ba, we believe that even yung mga OFWs before na nakakaawa, they cannot go back to the Philippines kasi ayun nga, we have to close our borders because of the pandemic, no? Next is family income. Ayan, apektuhan din tayo niyan. Maraming mga nag-close na trabaho, maraming mga nawalan ng trabaho, maraming na-bankrupt na companies, therefore maraming mga nawalan ng work and so on. Okay. Manufacturing industries, yes. Why? Because we cannot go out, especially our farmers, to harvest their crops, and it's very hard to transport one crop to another because of the restrictions of lockdown. Therefore, manufacturing industries are affected, and tumaas nga yung mga bilihin because of limited supply. And of course, travel. Right? So, since tourism is also hindered during the COVID-19, our will to travel also were hindered. Okay, because of the different countries, including Philippines, who have closed our gates. Okay, or restricted the number of tourists and even OFWs coming back in the Philippines. Okay, so that's how subtopics and supporting details and major topics should be connected with each other. Okay, oh, yan na-discuss na natin si economy. Let's encircle economy. Okay, so let's now have the effect of COVID-19 pandemic to the education. Ito na siya, i-discuss daw ito. Right? Letter A. Okay, major topic, Roman numeral 2, effects on COVID-19 pandemic to education. A, adjustment of delivery of instruction. First things first, lahat tayo ay mga first time sa online modality. Lahat tayo ay first time sa paggamit ng Zoom, ng Viber, ng Gmeet, no? So, we increased we have this sudden change of the instruction of or modes of instructions. So here, is it true? Yes, it's true, but how do we know it's true? Change in the start of classes, o, 'di ba? Well, before the pandemic, we already have the change of academic calendar, but in some other parts of the world, they have this. No face-to-face classes. Is it true? Yes, it's true. Nagkaroon tayo ng different instruction or modalities. Ayan na, ito na yung modular, blended, ito pumapasok yung synchronous and asynchronous, right? And budget for learning modalities, yes, our DepEd or the Department of Education and LGU really try to provide us with laptops, modules, your tablets that you're using right now, no? So it's indeed have an impact in education system. So it's true. Is it true? And lastly, ito na lang, si anxieties or mental health problems or challenges. The effect of COVID-19 and major topic number 3, effect of COVID-19 pandemic to families and communities. Okay, letter A, relationships and mental health. Unstable financial status. Ma'am, bakit po nandun siya sa relationship with families, mental health issues, yung unstable financial status? 'Di ba po dapat nandito siya sa economy? Let me break it to you guys. um, Having unstable financial status really affects how your family works. No? Trigger warning. I'm sorry for telling you this, but there are some of the OFWs. I don't know if you heard this. No. There's one teacher, Filipino teacher in Thailand, who um took his own life. Again, trigger warning, took his own life because he cannot provide anymore to his family here in the Philippines. Tas hindi pa siya makauwi. So, nakakaano siya, apekto talaga siya ng mental health, guys, especially if you are the ones who is supporting your family all throughout and then na-lay off ka because of COVID-19. Walang ka ng trabaho, you have your parents and your siblings who you need to support. Medyo medyo mahirap 'yun. But again, it could be best if we try to reach out to our families and tell our sentiments as well. It will be a big help for both you and your family if you talk, no? Next, high rate of domestic violence. Ang dami nangyari na ganito, no? Na, again, trigger warning. May mga nababalitaan tayo before nung lockdown pa na mas mataas ang mga domestic violence o yung mga pananakit sa loob ng tahanan. Because yun nga, hindi tayo nakakalabas and we have no choice but to be at home, and suddenly or unfortunately, hindi lahat ng bahay po ay safe. Hindi lahat katulad natin na maswerteng minamahal tayo ng parents natin at ng mga siblings natin. Hindi lahat ng bahay gano'n, 'no? So, there are some cases that some of the again, this is a trigger warning. I don't want you to invite this in your head, and I pray that our homes are safe as well. I'm just saying that there are some homes that is not very lovable as what we have as what we experience with our respective homes. Okay? May iba na may ibang bata na sinasaktan sila ng sarili nilang mga kapatid or sarili nilang mga magulang, no? So please, if you experience such, our school is open, our guidance is open. We are very open to listen to you and to help you with this kind of problems. Okay? Increased suicide cases. Okay, so yun nga, since we take into our head that the COVID-19 pandemic will not gonna end. Tayo expect nga natin before, 'di ba, yung lockdown 2 weeks lang, pero nangyari 2 years. No, and guys, na-survive naman natin, 'no? So, it's not that I'm trying to gaslight COVID-19, but the fact that you are still here, congratulations, you survived. And the absence of comfort to COVID-19 patient, and this one I think is the worst. Well, the other three are, of course, big problems, but I think it's even worse that we have the absence of comfort to COVID-19 patients na ang daming mga inuubo lang o kaya sinisipon lang, iba na yung tingin natin, no, nilalagnat lang, hindi na natin lumapit, 'di ba? Um, sp- Here in our home, nagka-COVID yung sister ko. We believe that we are asymptomatic. However, we tested negative as well. And my sister and I shared one room. Magkasama kami sa isang kwarto because we're just two girls, you know. So, partly me, of course, since I am working and I'm also studying, I don't want to also have COVID-19, of course, no. But no, apart from being or having fear that I may also be having COVID-19, no, it's also a care that COVID-19 is real. Nangyari nga siya sa pamilya ko. And also, my boyfriend, now my fiance, also had COVID-19. And it's really taking care of them apart from fearing that you may have contacted as well. Um, Unfortunately, it's not for everyone. Hindi lahat naiintindihan na may sakit na nga sila tapos kakatakutan pa, no? So, I think this is the worst na these people are sick and we all doesn't know yet during that time how to cure COVID-19, and what more to them, mas takot sila na nagkasakit sila ng gano'n. Apart from having also na the fear na makahawa sila, 'di ba? So, also nagkaroon tayo ng mga frontliners, ayan, na 'di ba, naalala ko yung pinakapangit na narinig ko sa news during that time na yung nurse pinalaya siya sa bahay na inuupahan niya kasi ayun nga, nag-aalaga siya ng mga COVID-19 patients. So, si nurse nangungupahan lang siya. Nung nalaman ng landlady niya ba nun na na yun yung work niya, na siya yung mga nag-aalaga sa mga may COVID, pinalaya siya dun sa inuupahan niya na ano, na bahay. Gabing-gabi yun, sinarado yung door. Sa labas siya ng bahay natulog. 'Di ba? So, we really lack sympathy, you guys. So, I hope that if ever, and I don't want to wish that COVID-19 or other strong virus would, surface again the earth or the world, but I hope that we have care or more care about what is happening around us, especially we are all people. All right. So again, these are the contents of an outline. Both topic and sentence outline supposed to have these. Okay, you can pause the video here, or you can pause for a while and try again to look up on this definition and contents and go back on our examples. Okay, so you would understand more what is this all about. So we have thesis statement, major topics, subtopics, and supporting details. And then again, all this should consist in your topics and subtopics. All right. Okay. So let's move on. Ayan. Now we are in the process of writing an outline. Okay, so I have here an example of how we can write or steps in writing an outline. This one is actually a combination of graphic organizer that we've discussed and of course of outlining. So what I'm trying to say, let's go first with the first two. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. Okay, so let's discuss first the first two steps. Okay, so I know you guys love so much drinking coffee, despite that coffee does not, of course, coffee does not really is your need right now. Masyado ba kayong mga bata para mag-caffeine, grade 8? But yeah, to make it more interesting, I have one with the topic coffee. So choose your topic and establish your purpose and create or organize the list of your major topics. So let's go first with this part. Yan. Lagyan natin ng line. Yarn. Choose your topic and establish your purpose. Since I believe so that you are in hype of drinking coffee, so we have here coffee. Okay? So again, we have two different purpose in writing an outline. So we have to inform or to persuade. Again, to inform is to give us more information, heavy load information that the goal is, of course, to inform readers or listeners. And when we choose to inform, we are doing sentence outline. Again, because sentence outline can express and inform even more direct and explicit our readers and listeners regarding certain topic. Okay? Next is we have the purpose of to persuade. When we are trying to persuade, we use the topic outline all because we are very keen, okay? Because or we are keen in such a way that we only include informations that our readers or listeners would want to hear or would need to hear. Okay, so in this time, I'm giving you the option. So in my case, I'm going for the option to persuade and topic outline. Okay, all because it's easier to discuss on how to do it. Okay, now since we already know what is our topic, what is our purpose, and what outline we can make, we are now going to create, or the next topic or the next part is to create and organize your major topics. Okay? So from our general topic coffee, ayan, from our general topic coffee, we have the major topics. Okay, so I only have two topics here. Can help with relaxation and promote strong bond. Okay, so those are our major topics. All right. So from here again, we are dealing with coffee, and our goal is to persuade, and we have our topic outline. Once again, when we say topic outline, it outlines merely the important details or the subtopics and supporting details in word form or in phrase form. Okay, words or phrase. So we have here coffee as our major as our central topic. We have can help with relaxation and promote strong bond as our major topics. And these strong can help with relaxation and promote strong bonds as major topic has of course our oops sorry has of course our subtopics. Okay, so how does coffee can help relaxation? It is in because of the chemical change in brain. How does coffee promote strong bonds? Paves the way for new friendship. Okay? So how come that these are possible? Here we have what are the chemical change? Dopamine, mood regulation, and promote control of emotion. These are the changes in the brain. Okay, so we call these supporting details. Okay, so how come that it promotes strong bonds? Again, it paves the way for friendship because of social activity and interaction. Di ba pag nagkakape-kape kayo, chichismisan kayo, mga marites kayo ng taon. Di ba kapag may mga social interaction, pag may mga memes about, just just one cup of coffee in a day, pero yung coffee mo pang malakasan, mga ganyan. Mga giant size coffee mug, gano'n. Ayan, social activity and social interaction. Okay? So, now, review and refine the content of your outline and provide additional information to support your subtopics. Okay, so these are the subtopics and these are the information that supports your subtopics, which we call supporting details. Okay? And once you refine those, ito major topics, subtopics, supporting details. Now, once you review all the contents, it is now that you have your outline. So our thesis statement, again, we have to have our thesis statement. Drinking coffee can help one relax and can create strong friendship. Okay, sabi dito, relaxation and friendship or strong friendship. Now, is that possible? Okay. Major topic presented by Roman numeral number 1. Coffee can help with relaxation. Ayan. So, relaxation. Okay, that's how you see the connection, guys, ha? Subtopic A, chemical change in the brain. Andun ba yon? Eto yon. O, ayan. 'Di ba? So, from your graphic organizer, naging outline siya. Yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina. Wait, let me erase this. All right. So, what are the changes in the brain? It is dopamine. Again, ayan o. Naka-word lang. Mood regulation, compound word, and emotion. Saan yan galing? Dito. Ayan. Emotion, mood regulation, and dopamine. Andito ba siya? Andito. Okay? Next. Roman numeral number 2. Major topic 2. Coffee promotes strong friendship bond. Asan siya? Ayun. Paves way for new friendship. Ma'am, bakit parang nag-iiba yung term? Ito pala siya, sorry. Ma'am, bakit parang nag-iiba po yung term? May dinadagdag. Of course, again, review and refine content of your outline. As you go along with writing your outline, you understand what specifically, no, are these topic all about. Okay, so coffee promotes strong friendship bond. How does become possible? How is it become possible with our subtopics? Paves way for new friendship. Eto siya. Ayan, subtopics. What are the supporting details of paves way for a new friendship or for create a strong friendship? Ito siya, ayan o, nasa thesis statement. Social activity and interaction. Okay? So, again, from our graphic organizer outline here, okay, from all the things we include here, they're all also included in here. Oops, sorry. Ayan. So that's how you will create your own topic outline. Okay, but since I already created the topic outline, it's your time, of course, to create yours. Okay, so for your group activity, wait, where is it? Why can't I? Ah, okay, so for your group activity tomorrow, I would like you to have one topic outline and one sentence outline depending on the topic that I will give you on our GC. Okay? Don't worry, you guys. Don't worry, you guys. I will be creating a separate video lecture on how you will do it. An example also of the sentence outline, since I'm already just discussed how to create topic outline in this video. So tomorrow, I will discuss how to do a sentence outline and um and the format on how you will fill in your sentence outline and topic outline. Okay? So for your assignment, I want you to take a screenshot of this, answer this, of course, in your English notebook. We have here create a sentence outline by filling in the respective definition or topic of each box. So, ayan. Meron na tayong format dito. All you have to do is to find the answer from each of the blanks here. So, these are your box for answers. Okay, so all you have to do is to copy and place your answer from each of the blanks. All right. So please wait for another video lesson and example and instruction for your group activity tomorrow on our next asynchronous video, you guys. And remember, I'm always proud of you, and at least you tried, and that's what is all matters. At least you have an experience of doing it, and the next time you are about to do it, you can do it on your own and successfully do it with grace. All right. So thank you, you guys. I hope you learned more and you enjoy your asynchronous activities. Again, if ever you will be having questions, our GC is open. You can chat on that, and I will answer your questions on our next video tomorrow. Goodbye, grade 8, and keep safe.